Welcome back to Decoding Korean. Last time, we explored the rich world of kimchi. Today, we're diving into something just as iconic. The Korean alphabet, Hangul. Hangul is often described as one of the most scientific writing systems in the world. Not just because of its structure, but because it was built with purpose. Created in the 15th century by King Sejong the Great, Hangul was designed so that anyone, regardless of class or education, could learn to read and write within half a day's learning. Think of it as the world's first, truly democratic writing system. And there's something else you might have noticed. Korean just sounds soft. It flows gently.
인생이 봄, 여름, 가을, 겨울로 가는 줄 알았더니 아니야. 그냥 때때로 겨울이고 때때로 봄이었던 것 같아. 수많은 날이 봄이었더라.
Especially when compared to punchier languages like French, German, or even English. Why? A big part of it is the vowels. Korean vowels tend to be softer and more centralized, with fewer extreme articulations. This gives the language a smoother, more mellow tone. A big reason why K-dramas and Korean dialogue sound so soothing, even if you don't understand the words. Let's start with the basics. Hangul looks like art. Circles, lines, squares. But these aren't random shapes. They're sound symbols. The core shapes of the vowels are built on three symbolic elements: a horizontal line for earth, a vertical line for man, a dot for the sun or sky. These elements combine to form all the vowel letters. The design isn't just beautiful, it's logical. Here are the most essential vowels. These 5 sounds are the backbone of Korean pronunciation. Ah, like ah in father. Open your mouth wide. Like in cut, slightly further back. Or, like or in go. Lips rounded. Oo, like oo in moon. Lips more rounded. E, like E in sea. Mouth spread wide. Add a quick yaw sound at the front, and you get the glide vowels. Ya, like yacht. Yo, like yearn. Yo, like yo-yo. You, like you. And then there's the wild card. This one's tricky. No English match. Try saying like in cut, but pull your tongue back and don't round your lips. It'll feel tight and weird. That's Here's another way to get it. Think of your mouth like a musical instrument, and the sound is the air flowing through it. What changes the sound? The size of the space between your tongue and the roof of your mouth. Has a smaller space than ah. So if you say ah and then slowly shrink the space between your tongue and your upper palate, you'll land right on Don't worry. Every Korean learner struggles with this one at first. Once you've got that, you're 90% done. Let's recap the 10 basic vowels. Ah, ya, or, yo, u, e. Now, let's level up. When you combine these vowels, you can make new vowel sounds. Ah, e becomes e, like e in cat. O, e becomes e, like e in pat. O, a becomes wa, like wa in what. U, o becomes wo, like wo in wonder. Having difficulty? Don't worry. As you get more and more familiar with these new shapes and their sounds, you will find it much simpler than you feel now. E becomes where, like where in weather. O, e becomes where, like where in wet. By the way, where means why in Korean. E becomes we, as in week. Or e becomes where. This one often gets confused with o, e, we, but they're not quite the same. O, e, we is shorter and tighter. Try saying we. Now cut it off just before the final y. That's we. It's technically a blend of o and e, but the e part is barely there. Think of it like the quick we in Wednesday. If you stretch it out, it starts to sound like o, e, we. Say it with a short, clean finish, and you'll hear o, e, we. Be careful not to confuse it with the French
E or E as in œuf meaning egg, cœur for heart, or poil as pan, or moelleux as soft.
Korean way is much softer and lighter in pronunciation. French vowels tend to be stronger and more fronted, while Korean vowels remain more central and relaxed. Don't stress too much about the difference between we, and we. Even most Koreans don't distinguish them clearly in speech. Context does the job. Two more that learners get confused are ya, e, ye, and yo, e, ye as in yes. Ye also means yes in Korean too. And finally, the one that trips up even advanced learners, u, e, ui, a combo of u, e. Depending on its position, it can sound like ui, I, or even just ui. Start by saying u, then slide into e without rounding your lips. You'll get it with practice. That's it. You've just unlocked the secret to reading every Korean vowel. Hangul doesn't play tricks. Once you know the rules, it always plays fair. In our next episode, we'll tackle the consonants, and trust us, they're just as clever. See you then on Decoding Korean.